Hello everyone. Last week we did a class here about rituals with my students, and I wanted to share with you guys how that went. So first of all, we gotta know what we're talking about when we say rituals. Normally we think of rituals as something very big, very meaningful, ceremonial, religious, or something very cultural. And we talked about it. That really is what a ritual is. But we also talked about personal rituals. They're a little different than a habit. So a ritual, basically, what we discussed was something that you're gonna do in a prescribed order, or you always do exactly the same, okay? And you do it regularly and invariably. And we discussed that. We discussed both kinds of rituals. It was very, very interesting, first of all, to understand how people see our culture, which basically is not very strong. We people don't perceive our culture as having strong, deeply connected rituals. We're very superficial in our habits and in our traditions. Maybe because here in Brazil, it's such a big mix of cultures and they all blended together, and then maybe we don't see anything very deep or very strong or intense. It's all a big mix. But we did talk about the rituals that we have in our holidays, weddings, ceremonies. One student reminded me of graduation parties. All these events, birthday parties as well, all these events, they follow an order, and which is roughly the same. It changes here and there, one thing or two, but basically they're all the same. And these are more ceremonial. They're bigger. They involve more people. They have some kind of meaning and everything. Very cool to talk about it, but we don't have anything very, very intense or strong in our Brazilian culture. We don't have that. But we did discuss other cultures. We talked about native cultures. They they have many rituals, especially we discussed specifically one about that they do with the fire. So these native tribes, they would sit around the fire, use some kind of psychedelic substance or anything similar to that. But these ceremonies, they're not for fun. They're not parties. They follow strict rules. They have guidelines. They are ancient ceremonies, so they always have somebody guiding the participants on doing that. That is very cool. It's very deep, it's very intense, very meaningful. We also discussed, I brought another example from Denmark. The example that I brought was something that I watched in a movie, and I had to research just to confirm that that was a real thing. And I found that it is. I hope it is. I'm not Danish. I'm not from Denmark. I'm not Danish. What they do there, how a young boy becomes a man. And throughout cultures around the world, there are many ways that a young boy can become a man. We call this rites of passage. If you watch kids' movies like Madagascar, there is Alex. Alex has to go through a rite of passage in one of the second, third, or fourth, I don't know, movies. It's just a moment that a boy becomes a man. And in Denmark, one of the options is the father takes his son out to hunt into the forest. So the father will give his son a gun, and they will experience hunting together. So we discussed these two from other cultures that are very different from ours. We don't have that here or anything similar, I guess. And then we moved on to personal rituals, which was kind of surprising to many students. We never thought of personal actions or personal behavior as being rituals. But if it's something that you do regularly and invariably, and I freely added that if it's something that when you don't do, you feel a little strange, you feel a little maybe frustrated, weird, sad, disappointed, I don't know, you just feel different when you don't do it. That means you have a ritual. And I shared with all of my students three rituals that I have, I shared one that I do every single day. So it's a daily ritual, and it's my meditation. I wake up, I go to a specific room in my house designed for relaxation. And one of the ways to do that is through meditation. So I wake up, I go to this room, I meditate for about 10 minutes, I stretch my body a little, drink some water, breathe, and that's how I start my day. If I don't do it, the rest of my day is a little strange. I feel a little different, so I have to do that. That's why I call it a ritual, because it's roughly always the same, and if I don't do it, I feel weird. Another one that I shared was as a weekly ritual that I go to the park every Sunday morning to exercise. And that is a moment, it is a ritual for me because I will cancel things just so I can go to the park on Sunday morning. I will take care of what kind of night I have on Saturday just to make sure that I will have a good park session, Monday park session at the park on the next day. So I go there and I work out. Exercise is amazing to clear your mind. And it's Sunday morning. I have nothing to do the rest of the day. I'm finishing a week and I'm getting ready to start another one. If I don't do that on Sunday morning, I will feel kind of disappointed and a little strange. The other one, the last one that I shared with them, is an annual ritual, and that one happens on my son's birthday. So my son was born in July, on July 29th. So that means that he was born in the winter, and it's cold. So when we celebrate his birthday, we normally do that during the day. When it's sunny and it's a beautiful day, normally we have clear skies. The day is not very hot, it's not very cold, so it's perfect. I love my son's birthday. So during the day, we just celebrate with food, drinks, conversation, whatever. But when the sun comes down at sunset, that comes the ritual. We always make a bonfire. So we make a fire. So we're normally like ending the party. So many people have gone home, but the people that are like closer to the family or just whatever, people that want to stay, it's a smaller party around the fire. We just keep drinking. My son is so happy. He's got all his toys. He's playing with his new toys that he got for his birthday. There are not that many people anymore. All the other kids are normally gone. So it's just grown-ups and my son. So it's great. It's great. And that's a ritual that we do. So that was the class. That was the class. And then, of course, I asked my students to share with me their rituals. And some of them have daily, weekly, annually, whether it's trips or whether it's like somebody's just like brushing the teeth before going to bed. It's a great ritual to have, by the way. You